Hey, hey, great morning, great morning. You guys come on in here. Come on in. Listen, I'm getting ready while I'm talking to you. I'm in the process of moving. I've got a lot going on. So I'm trying to multitask, okay? I haven't been on in a while, so I wanted to come on and share some things with you guys. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Make sure when you come in, you let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. Who's in the house, y'all? What's going on, people? Hey, family. What's going on? Who's here? Who's here? So, today I'm going to talk to you about whose report will you believe? Throughout our life, there are always people who have opinions about everything concerning you. Opinions about your life, your choices, opinions about what you should and shouldn't do, opinions about your relationships, opinions, right? Well, one of the things that I've discovered is that a lot of times we give people the right to say something. We give them permission to speak into our situation. Whether we do it knowingly or unknowingly, we do it. So I want to know, whose report will you believe? In the Bible, Joshua sent out the spies. He sent out the spies. The spies went to spy the land, the promised land, the land that God had told them to go and occupy. He said, I've gone before you and I've prepared the way. Listen, it's yours. It's a land flowing with milk and honey. And so the spies went out. The spies went out. And when the spies went out, they saw exactly that. The land was flowing with milk and honey. There were grapes the size of a man's head. All of that was true. All of that was there, right? But there were some other things there as well. Listen, y'all ready? There were some other things that were there as well. Yes, the land was amazing. It was flowing with milk and honey. It was there, grapes the size of a man's head. Can you imagine what kind of wine you could make with that? Man, it take one grape to make a whole bottle of wine, right? So there were all of these things that God had promised them. They were there, they were available, they were within reach. But, somebody say but, when the spies came back, two of the spies said, yes, I'm telling you, it's amazing, it's incredible. Man, it's going to be, listen, the land is flowing. It's milk and honey everywhere. Listen, these grapes are huge. Man, this is going to be amazing. And then, after the two, there were the 8. And the 8 said, yes, but there were giants there. Okay. There were giants there. Hold on, let me give me some more light. Okay. There were giants there, right? There were giants. And so there were giants, and we're like grasshoppers in their eyes, and they'll destroy us, and we can't go in there and occupy that land because there are giants. And the 2 said, but the land is flowing with milk and honey. It's amazing. It's incredible. The blessings are going to be great. Then the 8. When it's time for you to step into God's promises, when it's time for you to step into prosperity, it's always going to require that you face some giants. It's always going to require that there will be some things that you have to battle, some things that you will have to overcome. The question is not, will there be some? The question is, will you stand up? Will you go forward? Will you possess the land? Will you possess the promise? Now, we get scary. We be like, I'm not going in there because they're big. Okay. I'm not going in there because we're small. Okay. I'm not going in there because what if? What if they step on us? What if they this? What if they that? But check this out. What if you go possess the land and it's everything God promised you? And yes, you fight some giants, but you win. And you possess what God has promised you. What if? See, we what if the wrong stuff. We what if the negative and we don't what if the positive. Where are doing that at? Right? We're scared of the giants when we don't think about the giants we've already slayed in the past. We don't think about the things that God brought us through in the past. We don't think about the ways that God showed up in the past because we're scared of a few giants. I know this. When it comes to reports, I believe my daddy. I believe my daddy. See, my daddy has proven that he will not lie to me. My daddy has proven that he will not leave nor forsake me. My daddy has proven that over and over and over again. So while you're believing the report of people, I believe the report of God. Y'all will get that one day. Whereas you're believing the report of people, I'm believing the report of God. God, what did you say about it? What did you tell me to do? So listen, I can look crazy, all of that stuff. It doesn't matter to me because if God told me to do something, baby, I'm doing it. I'm doing it and I'm doing it and I'm doing it well. I'm doing it and I'm doing it unapologetically. I'm doing it and I'm doing it and I'm doing it regardless of what anyone says, thinks, feels. Like none of that stuff moves me. I'm like, okay, that's you. But it's for me. I'm going to believe the report of the Lord. In 2021, God told me it was my year of redemption, right? It was my year of redemption. He was redeeming me. He was redeeming my name, my time, place, family, or relationships. He was redeeming my finances. He was redeeming my purpose. He was redeeming. Baby, he was redeeming. So 22 is my year is to walk in the dominion and dominate, right? The domination. This is my year of domination. It's time to dominate everything that God has given me authority over, which he tells us that he's given us dominion. He's given us dominion. So if you have dominion and there's a promised land there, why are you worried about what's there or who's there? Why are you worried about that? Why don't you just walk in the dominion that he's given you? I'm a little crazy. You know, that's what they say anyway. I'm a little crazy. I just be believing God for crazy stuff. I just believe God and just do what he says and know that it's going to work out for my good, however it works out. It may not work out the way I envisioned it, but it's going to work out for my good. It may not work out when I envision it, but it's going to work out for my good. It may not always feel good, but it's going to work out for my good. I may not always like the way it looks, but it's going to work out for my good. You see, we're so busy worrying about the obstacles. We're so busy worrying about what could happen. We're so busy worrying about those things that we don't walk out what God has promised us, so we miss it. Then we mad. Have you ever experienced that? Two people have the same opportunity. One takes the opportunity, the other one doesn't. The opportunity works for that one. The other one is looking like, well, why did that happen for you? Listen, in network marketing, that's the thing that happens a lot. You can have two people that start with the same vision, that can start with the same notions, that can start with the same ideas, that can start with the same level of determination. But then life happens. Those giants show up. While they can see the promised land is not bigger to them than the giants that occupy it. While they can see the promised land is there, but it's not bigger in their vision, in their eyesight, than the fact that they have limitations. While they see the promised land, they see it, it's there, they want it, but the things that you got to go through to get it, it's crazy. So for me, God promised me all these things, but guess what? One of the greatest giants was that I had to face. Me, my stuff, my issues, my heart being hardened because of things that I had experienced in life, not trusting, doubting, because I'd run into obstacle after obstacle, or things hadn't gone the way that I needed them to go or wanted them to go. But they went the way that God needed them to go to produce the perseverance in me that was necessary. See, you can't persevere if you ain't never gone through anything. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every obstacle, for every challenge. Listen, I'm grateful my mom was a teen mom. I'm grateful that I grew up in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing. Why? See, I'm not moved. If water is off, that don't bother me. You know, if I'm not in a mansion, that don't bother me. If I don't have my own room, that don't bother me. You understand? See, I've learned how to live with little. So having much is a blessing. But when it's not there, I'm not moved. It doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change what God has called me to do or who he's called me to be. When you stop allowing people and people's opinions to move you, then you can get what God has for you. Too worried about what everybody think. Too worried about how everybody feel. Or we allow the rejection, the hurt, the trauma of the past to interfere with our ability to move forward. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I'm not going to let my hurt and unforgiveness get in the way. I would be lying if I said that finding out that my daddy, the one I'd always known all my life for 55 years, was not my biological father. I would be lying if I said that I didn't feel a way about that. I would be lying if I said that I didn't have to work through some stuff as it related to my mother. Like, I would be lying. But I want what God has for my life too much to harbor unforgiveness for the woman who birthed me, who carried me, who's been my mother all my life. So until we let go of the stuff that didn't go our way, the stuff that hurt, the stuff that disappointed us or made us feel some type of way, we can never get the fullness of God's blessings ever, 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 ever. And not only do we limit ourselves, we limit our children because we teach them to hold unforgiveness. And this is the thing. Just like you have stuff with your parents, I promise you, your kids gonna have stuff with you. That's the way it works. That's the way one day they wake up and they have this epiphany and, you know, they realize that there were some things that they needed from their parents that they didn't get. And they feel a way towards you. And your relationship begins to change. So I'm not sowing that seed. Listen, I love my mama. And my mama did the best she could with what she had at 16 years old. You know, I think about when I was 16 and I'm like, I remember that time. Did I go through some stuff? I absolutely did. Could things have gone a different way for me? They absolutely could. But this is what I appreciate. My mama chose to have me. See, when I got pregnant in high school, I chose not to have the baby because I said, I'm not ready to be a mother. If my mama had said that, I wouldn't be here. So I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for her and every misstep she ever made because it helped to make her the woman that she is, and it helped to create me. And everything I've gone through has helped me to be the woman that I am. Now, what I do with that is up to me. It's no longer my mama's responsibility. While there are things that I want from her, listen, she's done all that she had to do when she gave life to me. You know, if she didn't do anything else, she'd done enough. So now it's up to me. Now I can focus on what she didn't do and what she didn't tell me or what she didn't know. I can focus on that. Or I can choose to move forward in my life and live my life and make my life the best life possible. I choose to make my life the best life. I don't have time to be stuck in 1966 when I was born. And I thought one man was my father because she thought he was my father, but really it was somebody else that I would go on 55 years later to find out about. I don't have time for that. And we really got to check ourselves. Why do we have to check ourselves? The blessings are on the other side of the forgiveness. The blessings are on the other side of our healing. The blessings are on the other side of us getting over us because we be our worst enemy. I think about those things that God has promised me and the delays that I've experienced. And I have to be honest. I have often been the reason that I haven't gotten what God promised me. I'm not nobody else. It wasn't that I didn't know who my daddy was for real, or the person that I thought was my daddy wasn't. It wasn't that my mama didn't raise me and my daddy didn't raise me. It wasn't that I lost my grandparents before I graduated high school and I've been on my own since I was 17. No, it's not that. It was me. It wasn't the things that happened to me. It was how I responded to the things that happened to me. So we need to stop blaming the things, blaming the people, and really focus on what was our response. So at 55, I can choose to feel away and not proceed into my blessing, or I can grow the F up. I said grow the F up. I can grow the F up. Grow the faith up. I know y'all thought I was talking about something else. Grow the faith up and move forward. Because if you really believe God, it doesn't matter what's happened in your life. And it doesn't matter who did it. The word of God is clear. And we know this, that all things, every single thing that you've ever experienced in your life works together for your good. Why? Because you're called according to his purpose. So are you called according to his purpose or not? Like, we got to decide what we're going to do, where we're going to be, which side of the line we're going to be on. Listen, it's time to faith up. Faith up. Face yourself. Face your fears, your hurt, your traumas, and then heal up so that you can go get what God has for you. And I'm not just talking about material things. I'm talking about peace, love, joy, happiness. So, y'all, I feel like I look like a little girl with this hairstyle. So listen, as I'm embarking on a journey I've never taken, a journey I wasn't sure how it was going to go, and I'm not sure exactly how it's going to turn out, but however it turns out, it's working for my good, period, as the young people say. So remember that, and don't let the stuff that has happened in the past keep you in the past, because I promise you, if you're still talking about the past and focus on the past, you're still in the past. And as long as you're in the past, you can never move forward into your future. I'm excited about my future. I'm excited about what's happening. I'm excited about what God is doing. And I refuse to allow my fears and my unforgiveness to keep me stuck. So this is my public declaration of forgiveness. Forgiveness for what, Dr. V? I forgive my mama for not knowing, for being wrong about who my dad was. I forgive her, because to do anything else would be hypocritical, because I know I've needed my kids to forgive me, not for the same thing, but for other stuff. So who am I to deny forgiveness to the person who holds the wound through which I flowed? Nobody. So today, let's love, let's forgive, and let's forgive us, forgive ourselves. Like, I forgive me for not getting it all right. I forgive me for those times that I've harbored unforgiveness, whether I'm talking about my daddy or my mama, right? Or a family member, or a friend, or a business partner, or someone who lied on me, or whatever it was. Like, listen, I forgive me because I'm human. So I'm going to keep in this human existence, moving forward, learning more about me, peeling back the layers, and allowing myself the freedom to heal without limitation and without constraints, and experience the joy of life. You can choose to do what you want, but I'm telling you, I choose love, peace, joy, forgiveness, hope, fortitude, resilience. That's what I choose, because it's all a choice. Look, you guys, I love you guys to life, and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. Be blessed. Mwah.